Phase 4, Repair. Now that we've found some balance within the present, it's time to begin to repair damage from the past. In order to move forward in a holistic way, we need to release the hold that the past has by repairing to the best of our ability any damage we have left behind. And we do this in 2 steps. First, we make a list of all persons that we have harmed, and we become willing to make amends to them. For this, we can begin with our list that we made for the second phase of the journey. Then we ask in prayer for our higher power to reveal all those we need to place on the list, and we dig in. Use the same format, the 5 columns that were used in the second phase. I recommend going back mentally to your first year in preschool or kindergarten and working your way forward. Place all those you have harmed on the list. It does not matter if they deserved it or they harmed you. It doesn't matter if the harm was physical, mental, or emotional. If you harm them and it arises, place it on the list. Now we come to the second part of this step, and it is just as important and probably more so than the first part. This is where the true healing work begins. This is where we begin to transmute the past. We become willing to make amends to repair the damage from the past. It doesn't matter if we will ever be able to make a direct amends. Some may have passed, some will never be able to locate, some a direct amends will not be called for. This is not what is important here. What is important is that we set mentally with each person on the list. We call to mind the infraction and we become willing to make amends. This should involve doing our best to forgive ourselves for doing the damage and to forgive the other person if they have in turn caused us damage. We use the tools we have gained from the Phase 2 inventory to trace the behavior to the core fear from which we were acting, and we forgive, and we become willing to heal. This may take several settings, but this is not the fact. We may have found willingness and forgiveness to a varying degree in each instance, so we ask in prayer if our process is complete. We can revisit this list and process later if needed. And now the second step of this phase. We make direct amends wherever possible, except when to do so would injure them or others. This is the step when we actually move from the past into the present. This may not seem obvious since we are amending or repairing the past, but in effect what we are doing is we're being responsible for our action. We become responsible. We are no longer a prisoner of circumstance. We take ownership. We begin to respond instead of react. There are many subtleties involved with this step. First, we make direct amends. This does not simply mean we make amends directly to the person we have harmed, though this may be a factor. We make amends in a direct, straightforward way. This is not a groveling apology. We are not approaching the person to tell them how sorry we are. Our goal is to set right damage we have caused to the best of our ability. The second part of this step must be considered first. Will there be injury to another involved? We cannot repair past damage by creating more. We should not open the wounds of others. Going to a past romantic relationship and apologizing for breaking their heart may not be the best approach. And so prudence is key to this part of the process. Pray about the amends and ask for guidance, but do not rush out and fix the past in a haphazard way. Focus on each one to ensure that the timing is proper and the process is complete. If it is possible, seek tutelage from someone who has gone through an amends process. Once it is determined that an amends needs to be made and that the timing is right, we approach the person and let them know what we are doing. We address the issue in a general way. We do not have to go into specifics. Hey Dad, do you remember when I wrecked the car and borrowed that money that I didn't pay back? Becomes, hey Dad, I know I have not always been the best son. I have been a financial burden at times. I would like to set things right. How can I best go about that to clean up the past? We can approach a spouse and, hey honey, I cheated on you last year while I was on a business trip. Becomes, honey, I've not always been the best partner, and I'm doing my best to clean up my past mistakes. What can I do to be a better husband to you? And then we do it to the best of our ability. It is important to remember that this process is about us cleaning up our past. If a person is unwilling to accept amends for the harm, that is their choice. When you feel you have made the effort to the best of your ability, then move on. The point is, we are moving forward into the future in a way in which we are responsible for our actions. If someone on our list is deceased, perhaps we visit the graveside. If we stole money from a friend and it is not possible to reach them, perhaps we make a contribution to a charity in their name. I wrote a letter to each person on my list that I could not reach, telling them what I would say if they were actually in person, and then put the letters in a drawer for 6 months, at which point I pulled them out to see if amends was made. If so, I discarded the letter. If not, seek further guidance. Pray about it. Amends may take varying degrees of time to accomplish. There is no need to rush out and do them all at once. Remember the first step of the phase and remain willing to make an amends if and when the time is right. Pray about each one and follow your heart. Passage from the Gospel of Thomas on this particular one is 84. When you look in the mirrors or see your image in a picture, you are interested in your image. But when the mind's eye beholds your personally held mental images, constantly rising before you, neither subsiding nor approaching, what will you do then? These private thoughts endlessly hover around our consciousness. They haunt the mind, arising from one's personal hell of thought-taking, anxiety, or worry. They are bolstered by fears and nightmares and by a fretful negative imagination. How long can you withstand the pressure of this inner pain? When will it all be enough? Why will you not surrender the mind's focus back to the I am, the blissful place, instead of an anxious mentation? Continual inner communion is what I speak of. I am awareness is where your life is peacefully maintained and truly utilized. Take no anxious thought for not now, not here thinking. Sufficient unto the adversities, therefore let him who is willing listen now and act appropriately. Remain in the present moment in pure I am awareness, always just here and right now. Let go of all yesterdays and their sorrows. They are gone. Let go of your tomorrows, which are not yet in awareness. Living today in wonder in the now moment creates blissful tomorrow. Count your blessings, enjoy and be thankful for all that belongs to this moment. Whatever it is, and be enthusiastically involved in that activity. Let go of control. Stop trying to run or pattern this life after mental fixations and egotistical agendas. Stop the endless criticism of yourself and others, even in your mind. Let everyone be, especially yourself. Let peace flow between you and others and between your thoughts. The I Am will provide whatever you need to learn from experience. You are the judge of no one, so let judging go away from you and be gentle on yourself. However, give yourself some disciplines to refine your nature. As you do, your refinements will become you. They will give birth to new growth, ever new expansion, and new disciplines. Your greatest endeavor is in loving yourself and others through loving expansiveness. You actually assist others on their life paths and your own as well by taking charge of pointless appetites which make others stumble as your lives touch. Your expansive kindness, however, inspires other people's life with love from above. When your love goes out to others, it returns again to you 100-fold, becoming the grace to you that it was to them. In doing these things, you become the clear lens, a clear vessel through which the original being may work the wonders of the Infinite One in you.